500s, 158.
You don't have to write the prices in there. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So the 158 is what we have the most of.
Well, the most that you're gonna have are the 320Ts.
540 of those on this 218 mile.
Right.
It would absolutely
And-
impact
Yeah.
the cost of the bill of materials. To
150
switch those out.
158 of those and 115 of those. That's those three pieces. That's our bill basically.
Now, I don't know where your
'Cause so much
budget was
farmland.
and where the numbers came in, you know, it'd be totally up to you, but you could standardize and just say, I want all of my connections to be in a tier rated vault. Tier rating and also having the fire protectant. I don't see a lot of grass fires down here. It's more trees than anything, but yeah. And going down to Mississippi, that's more of a wet environment.
It's a lot of what this bill is.
You might have it in your budget to say, you know what, maybe we do go with the 400 and standardize with. You could still use these two cases, but that's a decision
Just
you
a
can
larger
make.
box.
You know,
Yeah.
It would affect obviously quite a bit the cost, but like I said, I think you have to look at your budget and see how it worked in, how it all fell in line with where you thought it would be and where it actually was.
Okay,
Anyway, that's
so
something, but
we have none of those.
no, and these two are the same vaults. This one looks quite a bit bigger, but it just has a 6-inch extension on it.
Okay.
You don't need it. If you ever needed to, if you had a road that, you know, they were changing the elevation of things and you had to have an extension, we have it. So you're
For that one model.
for the 500, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that kind of covers the vaults and what's expected to go into it. I have some 1410, 14 millimeter outer, 10 millimeter inner diameter duct here. This is a majority of what's going to be what your fiber, your 48 and your 24 count is going to be run into. So, and I would assume, and I don't know
Is
if you.
our entry point always the bottom?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't have to. I mean, you could, but I didn't see in your spec how deep you're having them bury.
36
Yeah. So they will come up.
with gravel.
Yeah. What I would recommend, we can talk about this, construction practices and recommendations on how to achieve, you know, best performance of jetting this fiber, but usually a flat, level, and straight gets you the best jetting distances for installing this micro module into the duct.
Can you take just a second and go back to the differences between the micro duct and standard? You said you were talking a little bit about the advantages of standard fiber versus micro duct fiber. And I just want to make sure.
Right, we were talking about slack and utilizing slack that might be 1,000 feet down away. I mean, it makes it easier to store it because for one, the microfiber doesn't take up a lot of space to store slack. I can put 50 or 75 feet in literally a little bundle. You can see how small you can wrap it. And so it can be stored even at your splice points. You can put an extra 25 or 50 feet in before your tail that goes out. You might have 40, 50 feet of tail for the splice case, but you can also put extra slack down there to be able to pull either direction if another house gets added or if there's a damaged cable and you need to put a repair splice in the middle. So yeah, the duct would just sweep up, or they could gradually bring it up to the 26-inch depth and come straight in through.
Okay. And so for the size of that, is that 24 or 48?
Oh, absolutely. They're both the same diameter.
But not 144?
No,
that size.
I do make a 144 micro that goes in 1410.
Wow, okay.
I didn't bring it in, but it's only 7.9 millimeter in diameter.
But that is the size of our duct. In
This
our
is the
bill.
duct,
Yeah.
yes. Yep.
So 48 and 24, both.
I can actually put a 288 in here.
Wow.
So you
You just have
have
to suck it in and wear a girdle or something?
we make a 288 fiber, 200 micron microfiber that is only 8.1 millimeter in diameter. We jet that all day long in this, thousands of feet at a
Do
time.
you have restrictions on the radius turns for this duct?
The minimum, I'd have to look at the spec sheet to see exactly what it is. Usually it's 20 times out of diameter for fiber.
Wow.
So it's pretty tight.
Yeah.
The key, now, some duct manufacturers would have recommended an 1814, but really they're just selling more material.
18, 14, outer, inner?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. The 1410 is a much more stable product. The wall thickness is the same, so it's more rigid, and it's gonna maintain its roundness and have less tendency to oval when you are bending it.
Yeah.
And usually in this, you're not gonna bend it more than that right there. You can kind of get a feel for where it wants to go. Can I go further? I can, but I'm already starting to feel it right in there. I can feel it.
Going tighter.
So, and plus I don't wanna have to jet around, install a fiber around that tight of a curve. However, because our fiber is round, it will go left, right, up, down. It can go either way. Flat drop will not. If flat drop is laying in there flat, it won't go this way. It has to turn somehow and then go that way. So it gets very difficult.
So do they typically blow in a fish tape and then pull it?
No, they'll use a jetting machine,
Okay.
a fiber jetter. So that's a whole nother subject.
Yeah.
They could, it's possible. It's not the standard way of installing a microfiber into a microduct. It is possible they could use a compressor and blow that string down there, tie the fiber on and bring it back.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be the guy there pulling that string, pulling that fiber in. That's not they will jet. You'll be surprised at how fast this fiber is going to go to be installed into that duct. Literally, if they're very good at jetting, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't get 20 to 30,000 feet a day.
Wow. That's a lot.
It's
Yeah.
5-6 miles.
The construction will have to get far enough in advance
Way
of the
out.
fiber crews,
Yeah.
because the fiber crews are going to just run
Tear it
through
up.
this.
Yeah.
Blow it. Okay.
And your splicers are going to like it, because if you did have a mishap and needed a little bit of slack from one end, like Michelle was saying, it's easy to just pull on. Yeah.
Right.
Couplings, very easy to deal with too. It's just like a snake bite or a compression coupling.
It's coupling
or,
for the
or
duct.
not compression, but
Got it.
we have ours, and I was mentioning this the other day to specify, because we've done research. We use these couplings in our own networks, and they have a window on here. There's no metal, so nothing to corrode, and they're very user friendly because you can get them back off. But they're absolutely strong. And like I said, that window in there tells you that you've got it in there flush, and that you can see that it's bottomed out. And it's a seamless transition between duct, coupling, back into the duct.
Is that watertight?
Yeah, absolutely. Air and watertight.
So nothing a friction point at all. So
No.
So I need to start
Exactly.
using that stuff in plumbing.
It's very similar to that. These are more precise than that even.
I was getting ready to
Yeah.
say, that looks
Yeah.
a lot better than the tech stuff.
So that's a key. And then the other part of what you'll have in your network are end caps. That little lock off there. You'll want your contractor to install these at the ends so you're not getting debris and or water in there. They'll have a whole process of proofing that pipe before they jet it. They'll run a sponge through there and clear it all out. Then they'll run another sponge, they'll put some lubrication in there, they'll run a sponge, and it'll lube the entire inner surface of the duct
Right.
before they jet, and then they'll jet. Takes a couple minutes.
But that's our, oh, I don't even know if we've got that in the spec, do we?
I'll send it. I'll send you that information. Can you make a note for me, please? Because I'm going to stand up here and make a bunch of promises.
You put it on I thought you made a note on the bum that said we've done, wasn't that the coupling?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's on there.
This is a coupling I
Well, the
recommend.
coupling, but the termination
Yeah.
cap is.
The
needs to be
lubrication.
End caps, yeah. I didn't,
Yeah.
yeah. There are other ways. They could get some duct seal, put that in there. It's not as
Not as
Yeah.
sophisticated.
true,
Not as reliable.
right? It's not as guaranteed to seal
It's
it.
a lot more
Yeah.
messy too.
Yeah. They could also just take some 88 electrical tape, tape around that again.
A lot of
That'll
choices.
work. It'll keep debris out. It won't necessarily keep water out.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
just plain old duct tape that goes right along with the duct.
true. What do you want to cover next? Do you want to look at the micro module cable? The fiber itself?
It really wouldn't make me any difference. Fiber's gonna work. If it works, it does.
This is
There
a
is
unique cable, fairly new to the industry. The glass in there is the same, so the fiber in there is no different. It's
Insulation.
the buffer tube and the fact that we've been able to engineer it with a tracer wire and also able to be jetted into microduct. It's
How
as
many
far as-
pair are in there?
this one is capable, this size right here, up to 72.
Wow.
This one here has two filler tubes, so it's only 48.
So you guys sell magnifying glasses to the
This
installers?
is why I don't splice anymore. I can do demos, but I don't splice anymore. Right there. So it's the ringing tool. The contractor will have all these tools. Every splicer has a tool for what he needs. So I'm gonna let me pull off a little bit more of that.
And the ladies have double the materials they need for it. Sorry, I hear a lot of he in this industry, so I just have to get
It is true, and
I gotta give people a hard time.
sometimes it's a muscle memory. So if I don't even know if I said it or not. Yeah, that's one way of doing it, just to pull it off. Now, if we were going to do a mid sheath, obviously we'd come in here and we could split it this way, like so. Now, one key in here though is we have a pull string in ours. So we work with our engineering team at the fiber manufacturer, and we say, hey, it'd be really cool if we had a pull string in there, and so they put one in. So
And it's-
you can also use a
it'll
pull
cut
string in
the
there.
shield.
Yeah,
Cool.
so we do that, and
How
Go back
different
to-
is your microduct product or microfiber product than others on the market, like for training for our staff? We talked about shooting some videos. You guys said you come down and do videos.
oh yeah,
We've had some feedback from our contractors that, they can do a lot of training, but you get a new person on the field, I was just curious how different it is.
it's not that much different. I mean, it's still splicing fiber. It's still a mid sheath. You still need the right tools. It'll be up to the contractor to make sure that the splicer coming in, and usually they sub all that out, but to make sure that their splicers have the tools they need. Most splicers in this industry that have been doing it for even a month or two have all the tools they need. Yeah, because they work on projects of all different sorts. I mean, they're confronted with every different kind of fiber that you can imagine. ADSS. I don't have my scissors in here. They have to have tools that